Hey guys, it's been a while. I just now getting towards video since now I got my Derby Mowers are back home. It's been 3 weeks since they last ran. You're looking at mine. This is the aftermath of mine, kind of what a good look of it. My dad's is in the shop there. I haven't got mine back due to, well, one of the problems. I don't know if you've been following my Facebook. The only reason why I went out my Derby Saturday night, Iroquois County, broke the rear end off the first hit. Wasn't too happy afterwards, but went out there, made one good hit, and then came around, took a hard front end shot, and moved forward just a maybe. And I stopped, trying to back up, wanted go into gear. And I knew something was wrong, so I ended up pulling my flag there. Overall, she did pretty good for 3 derbies. Take you for the main reason, the broke rear end. I don't know, maybe you guys can see both tires are leaning inward pretty bad. Well, that's the result of the cracked rear end. Get you guys down underneath there. You can see right there, that's the big crack it did. Let's see if maybe you guys can, I mean, down there's the pulley. It's leaning downward due to it. Probably really hard to see. I'm gonna try to get underneath it more, get a video of that for you guys. Rear end or back bumper did a pretty good job. It's leaning upward a little bit. Took a hard shot to the rear end Thursday night when I ran there. We ended up going back out Saturday night. Overall, she held up pretty good. I'm impressed by her. After we figured out the small things with the gas line, ended up having put a new gas line off for Saturday night. Another small thing was I had to add a clutch brace, which is that big piece of metal there and runs down. So my clutch wouldn't go all the way down and hit my tire. That was the bad thing about that also, because they also broke my neutral switch. Let's see, what else? Maybe get a front shot here. I don't know if you guys could see, but my bumper is on this side now is pulled out. Well, we didn't do that. We left it pulled inward. Well, that front end shot hit me so hard, it snapped my welds there. But also, if you could see, it started to pinch the frame back there, like it did on this side. But now this side, you could see it's pulled away. It's ripped the metal. That was so hard. I guess somehow they hit me on that side, and it pulled this side away and pushed that side in. Well, apparently now I can move the front end pretty good. It's bent straight up more. That was the only bad thing. I think we're probably gonna have to junk the more. I got another rear end to put underneath her if I wanted to, but just might go and start new due to that front end being as bad as it is and a really bad weak point. I don't know much about it. Starting to rip my bumper away from the mounts. After all, she still runs good. She just don't move. Rear end's all locked up into it. She somehow, when I pushed her back to the trailer that night, she was in gear, or she wasn't in gear, and was able to move. But when I pushed her off the track, she was still in gear and couldn't get her to move. Well, now she's being a pain in the butt and won't get into that neutral gear or figure out what's going on. So I'm going to get her probably ready here soon, once after this video. Push her into that shop and start turning the rear end out of it. getting her taken out. Probably I'm gonna save the if we junk it, we're gonna save the tires. Tires are still great shape. Just need a little bit of a cleaning up. After all, I mean, pretty good derby. I just did not expect me to go out as I was Saturday night. There were 6 of us that was running, and I was the first one to go out. Get to more on my dad there in a minute when I go to his. After all, the gas line, after we put a brand new one on it, it's been running fine now. Well, let me take the cap off here and I'll show you how she still runs. It's been about 3 weeks since she's ran. She hasn't ran since the derby. Push the clutch in here because due to its and being in gear, I'm assuming she might move. Let's see if she still runs. Uh-oh. Well, that's a bad thing. Battery is dead in her. Have to hook her up to the charger here. I totally forgot. My dad had told me that the battery was dead. Well, I'll get you a running video before she totally gets stripped down. Put the cap back on. It's been wanting to rain. It's been raining, I guess, this morning. But yeah, she was a good mower and everything. Out of 3 derbies, 2 6th places and a 4th place. Did pretty good, and I like to thank Demolition Missions for letting me sponsor him. He'll be definitely on my next mower when I run a new one. Unless I run this one again, I would really like to run this one. Trash it a little bit more. I don't think she's quite ready to go to junk yet. Still great motor in her. Let's go to my dad's. You'll be surprised when you see my dad's how bad they tore him up. Come into the shop here. Yep, there's my dad's mower, sitting right in here. 3 weeks after the derby. It may look different from you guys since the day of the Saturday derby. That Saturday, me and my dad went out all morning and we added up. They ripped my dad's front bumper out, so we put a brand new one on there. And that one is not light. That one's a very thick front bumper. And we ended up adding another brace bar up here, attaching to our original leg guard and engine protector area. Ran it across the front, braced it up front there, and then we ran it back onto the other side here. That is not the original tire due to the derby. That's the tire right there. It just basically, they blew the tire out. That's the same tire on there. Taking some pretty good shots on my dad's leg guard there, trying to get to that tire. Tire's still great shape. The only thing me and my dad noticed, it bent in. They were starting to bend it in more. But I don't think it was that much of a problem. It doesn't look like it's rubbing much. The bumper, they started to bend the bumper in. You could tell right there. Maybe not. It's kind of dark in here. They started to rip the metal away where we welded. And on this side, they started to do the same thing, and it started to all push that way. I mean, you could see, and also pushed in and over. Not much I can show my dad. We ended up changing the rear tires, which are there too in that spot. And we put on our diggers that we had. And you could definitely tell they were taking some pretty good shots on the rear. This one ain't as bad, but you could tell some of the marks. You could definitely tell they were starting to bend the rim. But it's this side of it, they were really on him. Well, maybe not. I think it was this side. Yeah, this side was the bad one. Yeah, they were hitting there too. That mark right there was after Fisher, and then they started to bend in the rest of it. Yeah, this side was pretty good. They started bending in a little bit there, a little around, and they ended up breaking my dad's back bumper off. Just snapped it clean off. It's probably really hard for you guys to see. It's kind of dark in here, but yeah, snapped it clean off. See, I can put my dad's hood up here. Somehow, it also broke my dad's rear end too. I'll get another video on that. It's really hard in the back there to see due to the lighting in here. But my dad was also rolled up on a log once, got up amazingly after the guy tried pushing up on the log. You can see that in my derby on that night in my video, if you go back and look through my playlist there. And they also rolled him. They took a good shot and pushed him over. They rolled him. Well, somewhere, we don't know what happened or not, but the whole breather up here, it's really loose. They also broke our mounts here. That one's still good down here. That one sheared clean off. Just snapped the welds really bad. My dad's mower does not run. We don't know why at the moment. We're going to probably do some work on them here later. Getting the rear end probably at my dad's. And I think, if I remember, I did spot this tire was leaning in. I don't know if you guys could see. But yeah, gonna trip over the bumper there. But yeah, it was a hard-hitting night there. I was glad to see my dad pull out 2 trophies. Thursday night, there at the Derby, the regular Derby. My dad pulled away with the 3rd place. After they broke his steering down there, they ended up knocking that bolt off. And my dad couldn't steer, so he had to pull out. And Saturday night, he took 2nd. And the guy who took 1st place Thursday night, he also came back out and took 1st place on Saturday night. And you'll see that in his video, or my video. Only on, I don't have Thursday night's video, but I do have Saturday nights. So you look out. I mean, my dad's mower did hold up pretty good. The 2 mowers my dad battled more than I did were 2 Cub Cadets, and they were pretty built, pretty good. And they did a lot of damage to me and my dad. But definitely we did try to put on a show for the crowd, and we're going to be definitely back next year. But yeah, it was a great time, and there's probably going to be some things I want to go back and do over again. But yeah, there's my dad's mower. After it's all its beauty and carnage and aftermath. They've been tearing up that front end pretty good. My dad's mower, after basically 3 derbies, Fisher County, he didn't do so well due to that broken axle. Don't know what really, he didn't really place because he never got to go out in the feature like I did. And then he took a 2nd and a 3rd place, and we got the trophies to show that. I'll try to get some pictures more of that with the trophies. Maybe before we start tearing my dad's down, because I think we're going to find no more from my dad, because this one's pretty much junk due to the rear end now basically shot, and basically his motor having no power at all. But yeah, it was a great year. We ended up ending our season early due to the snapped rear ends. I got that mower right there. I think that's basically was my part mower for that mower. But we're thinking about maybe if we junked that one, we're going to go ahead and scrap that one out for parts with the tires and whatever we can get off of it, and put back on here. And we're gonna run this one. This one's gonna be my 2013 mower for the 2013 Derby season. Yeah, it's gonna be, it's the Ranch King I showed you in a previous video. I took the carburetor off of it due to mine had a carburetor problems. Took a belt off of it since after Fisher my drive belt was pretty much gone. Pretty much the same mower, just bigger engine on it. We're gonna try to keep the motor, since it runs good on my Derby mower up here. And yeah, we're pretty much done for the year. We're gonna go ahead and spend the rest of the summer, the fall, and the winter working on these, getting them either tore down or mine rebuilt. And yeah, so we're gonna see what's going to happen, and I'll let you guys know later in the future. Maybe I'll have some more videos. Probably be slow again, but yeah, finally got my Derby video mowers back here. Be able to get some more videos now. It's been a while. Been going kind of crazy. Not being able to see what the whole total damage is. I don't know really what's all wrong with my mower besides the snap rear end, and the front end looks okay. I do have a bent tire on, I think this side it is. I can probably look better up on the front. I don't know. It's either one of the tires, or it's bending pretty good, but that was also after Fisher I noticed it, but it hasn't bent anymore that bad. But yeah, it was a great year. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get this mower pushed into the shop there. I grabbed the jack, and I'm going to jack up the rear end on her and tear up the rear end and see how bad she did break. We'll see you guys later in the future.